The Pilgram's Progress by John Bunyan. Chapter 2, Part 1, The Way of the World, or The Narrow Way. Now I saw in my dream that by this time Pliable had returned to his home. Upon his arrival, his neighbors came to visit him. Some of his neighbors called him a wise man for coming back. Some called him a fool for starting such a hazardous journey with Christian in the first place. Others mocked Pliable for his cowardliness, saying, "If we had begun such a journey, we would not have abandoned it because of a few difficulties." Embarrassed and pouting, Pliable hid himself for a time. But at last he got a little of his confidence back and joined in with the others in deriding poor Christian behind his back. Now, as Christian was walking by himself, he spied someone far off crossing over the field to meet him. When their paths crossed, the gentleman who met up with Christian introduced himself as Mr. Worldly Wiseman. He lived in the town of Carnal Policy, a very great town that was near the place from which Christian had come. Mr. Worldly Wiseman immediately suspected that Christian was the person who had set out from the city of destruction, since news of his departure had spread as far as the cities and towns surrounding Christian's former house. As Mr. Worldly Wiseman viewed Christian's disheveled appearance and heard his sighs and groans, he was convinced that this was the rumored man and began to talk to him. "Where are you going?" Mr. Worldly Wiseman asked. "How did you get yourself into such bad shape? And what are you doing with this great burden on your back?" "Indeed," Christian replied, "a burden heavy as any creature ever had. And since you ask me, where are you going? I will tell you, sir. I am going to the small sheep gate that lies ahead, for I am informed that there will I enter into a way where I will soon get rid of my heavy burden." "Do you have a wife and children?" Worldly Wiseman asked. "Yes, but I am so oppressed by this burden that I cannot take pleasure in my family as I used to. I now feel as if I am a man who has no family. Will you listen to me if I give you good counsel?" "If it is good, I will, for I stand in need of good counsel," Christian replied. "I advise you to quickly get rid of your burden," Worldly Wiseman explained. "For you will never be settled in your mind until then, nor will you enjoy the benefits of the blessings that God has given you." "That is what I'm seeking," said Christian. "I want nothing more than to get rid of this heavy burden, but I cannot free myself from it, nor is there any man in our country who can take it off my shoulders. That is why I am going toward the small gate ahead, as I told you, so that I may be rid of my burden." "Who told you to go this way to be rid of your burden?" Christian answered. "He was a man who appeared to be very honorable and great. His name, as I recall, was Evangelist."